Hello, everyone. How was everyone's Friday night? How's your Friday been?
My Friday's been good. It's nice out.
Yes, and I haven't been home, right?
Not all day.
Not all day.
But it's nice and sunny and 70, like 5 outside.
I've been self-quarantined inside the car.
Oh, is that what you've been doing?
Yeah. I had to go to work for a little bit because I got 2 Corvettes sitting there waiting on accessories coming from the ADW, which is the people who give you the LPO, the high wings, and all that stuff. So I had to go in and check on those cars. Stuff's not here yet. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday that stuff will be here. Brody, yes, I was actually taking the aluminum foil off the couch. So
why? We're not sitting on it.
I know. Oh, actually, I was putting it on one night. Hope everyone's doing fine tonight. Where the boxers are upstairs, not on the couch, I hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
But they're on the couch. We know they're on the couch. Our oldest child, Zach, who's 25, is up there with him babysitting. Volume. Somebody said volume. Our volume is fine. We check. Every time someone says volume, I go back afterwards and check it, and it's fine. I got everything way up. See these 2 buttons right here? So this is my volume right here. So now you cannot hear me, and now you can. That's all the way up. So.
Well, I've told you, I think sometimes we don't project our voices as loud because we get into a normal conversation voice versus maybe projecting a little bit. I mean, our mouths are right next to the freaking microphone.
Right.
So.
Yep. So I'm excited for tonight's video. We're doing it live. We should be here for about an hour. That's our goal on Friday nights, is just to do about an hour. And we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of text messages. You can see the chat feed right now just zooming by. So you can certainly text in your question, and we're going to try to get to it. We want to get to all of them, but just not enough time. And super chats we get to 100% of the time. And then, of course, all of my live videos are sponsored by Surfshark. So Surfshark is a huge sponsor of this channel, and I really need you guys to support them. They give you access to and secures your digital life. And if you're at hotels, airplanes, or on your mobile device, you're putting yourself at risk doing so. So, and most importantly, you can go out there and get different programming in different countries. So say you want to get some Canada programming on Netflix, you can tell the VPN that you want to broadcast out of Canada, or tell them where you're coming from. You can get some Canada stuff and vice versa. And most importantly, you can get cheaper airfare and cheaper hotel stays as well. So if you go to Surfshark, let me put that up on the channel here. I hit the wrong button earlier. So where's it at? There we go. So if you go to surfshark.deals/Chevy Dude, enter promo code Chevy Dude, you get 83% off, and then you can get 1 extra month free of your subscription. This is minimal cost to spend with Surfshark, will outweigh the benefits and peace of mind with your personal and private information. We use a VPN on this system and on the software, and I have it in my house to protect myself. And then if you use the link in the description with code Chevy Dude with these amazing savings, and thank you, Surfshark, for sponsoring our videos and our live streams. So we're going to get into the very first thing with where are allocations at? What is GM doing, right? So
I don't know. What is GM doing?
I would like to know too. So, GM on the very first day of the production came out with this video. So like a minute and a half long, and they said they're going to be transparent on everything. And they haven't really been transparent. I think any consumer out there, myself as a dealership and as a consumer, as an owner of a C7 and a C8, they haven't been transparent. They don't tell us anything. I get it. I guess I don't get it, but I do get it at the same time. But this is a hype car, and they really don't need to talk about it, but it would put a lot of people at ease and to let them know that, hey, listen, we're doing everything we can. We're trying to help out. So, it's been a horrible launch for this 2020 Corvette. There's nobody out there that can say that, oh no, everything's going smooth, right? There's nothing has gone right with this launch. We had somebody, launch spy shots before the reveal. We had the reveal that went off pretty good. And then the strike came on. They got production started late. They wanted to start production in December. That didn't start. They wanted to start it in January. It didn't start. It started in first week of February. That's when I saw my production weeks change on my personal car. That's why I'm coming up with that information. And then and then we have now coronavirus. So we got about 6 weeks of car builds, and then they shut it down. And we probably aren't going to see production start again till May. So with my calculations, I think we're going to see only about 13,000 cars built based off of the information that I'm getting and the information that I'm just thinking through and doing some math. And it's going to make for a really, really low production for 2020. And to kind of give you an insight on my experience and why I built the car the way that I built, because I do not have the car that I want. I did not build the car that I set out to do. And I built my car so that I could get it first, and so that I made concessions for the car. And then I also didn't put a couple options on the car because out of fear that something would happen or slow it up. So I did not want white. The blue interior is awesome. You know, the blue interior is absolutely sweet.
Blue interior was not our first choice either.
It was not. So so I wanted a rapid blue, and I saw someone put in here that their rapid blue is stuck at 3,000 status along with everybody else's. So if I would have done rapid blue and just said, you know what, I really do want that color, I'll wait the 10 weeks, I would have be sitting here without a car. But and I wouldn't be able to create content and have the reach that I think I have with this car. Having this car, I think this car is a much better thing for the channel and whatnot. So I made concessions on the car, and I wanted to make sure that I could get it and start helping people get information on their car. Like literally, like I'm not going to say it because I just learned it as I went out to the car. I went and got something out of it, and lo and behold, I realized there was a new feature on the car, and I wouldn't know that as a salesperson. I don't get much time in these consumer cars, or the consumer cars that are for customers. I don't get much time in them. So, you know, I wouldn't notice this. And that's where me being an owner.
Since when is an alarm a new feature?
Well, not the alarm part, but something else inside the car where I was going for.
He set the alarm off on the car today.
Yeah, just a little bit ago. So, but, you know, so this is why I have the cars to kind of show people how everything works. So I'm going to come up with a video, 5 things you didn't know about the 2020 C8. And I want to come up with 5 things that you truly didn't know about the C8. 5 things that nobody's talked about, right? So I was going to do a video back in the day of 5 things you can't get on the C8, but pretty much it all got leaked and I didn't do it. So I was going to be like, no more manual transmission. You can't get chrome wheels. I was going to do a few other things, but you know, no more of that. So I didn't do that. I didn't do that video, but I do have, I did have the opportunity to find 5 things that you don't know about the C8 that nobody's ever talked about. So I'm excited to get that video shot this weekend and get it up maybe next week, I think. So it's pretty awesome. So William Graff super chatted in and asked any tips for first-time car buyers. Biggest tips you can have is be flexible, come with 20% down payment, and buy the car that fits in your budget, not the car of your dreams. I literally had an 18-year-old kid call me today and say, hey, I want a Camaro or I want a Silverado. And I may not have gave him the right answer. I may not, I take that back. I gave him the right answer. I may not have given him the answer that he was looking for, but I gave him the right answer to protect himself or try to protect him on it. And I treat it like as if it was my own kid. He's looking at he said, well, what would my payment be if I financed $30,000? And I told him about $600, and he's making $400 a week. And I'm like, dude, you can't do a $600 car payment. Well, I don't have any other bills. I live at home. No, stop that right there. That's BS. And you need to protect yourself. You need not to have over 15% of your car payment going out, which comes out to be $300 a month. And I gave him that information. That's what it is. So don't go over 15% of your income, with the exception of that you already have a bunch of debt going out, credit cards, other payments, other bills, stuff like that. So keep that payment low. So so let's talk about the production stats. So I told you that I don't think we're going to see more than 12 or 13,000 C8s. Don't think we're going to see production start until May. I'm not getting this information from anyone. This is just information that I'm just kind of watching everything that's going on, using my 20 years of experience of selling these cars, and just trying to relay that information to you. And anything that I say, I'm more than willing to be saying, oops, I made a mistake, I was wrong. But more times, you know, not a how do I want to say that? Not an arrogant way of saying it or anything like that, but more times I'm right than I am wrong, because I really try to think through a lot of this stuff before I do it. Yeah, I don't know if somebody's talking about clickbait, and it was just April Fool's Day. It was it. Nothing.
Yeah, somebody said your thumbnails are clickbait or
Yeah.
something along those lines.
One. So I'll always tell people when they start saying that I clickbait, outside of April 1st of 2020, go back to my videos and find a clickbait video. Just tell me one video from April 1st, 2020. Actually, let's go March 31st, 2020, back to January of 2012 when I started this channel. Find the clickbait videos because I don't clickbait. Have a lot of fun. And I think it's warranted on April Fool's Day to have a little fun. And some people were upset that I did that. But you know what? I think it was perfect timing because we all kind of need a little laugh and we all kind of need a little chuckle. And if you're on social media in any way, shape, or form,
actress.
And you're a great actress, right? Yeah, you did a great job. You did a fantastic job. So, but I think if you look at any memes on social media, they're far more offensive and far more way out there in left field that they don't need to be talked about, but it's stuff that's the internet's about. So not sorry for the video. I think it was awesome. I think it was fun, and lost a few subscribers on the video, but you know, that is what it is. So I'm here to have fun. I'm here to teach, and I appreciate you guys all being here with me.
I was going to say, I've seen comments. People do not like it when you go on the third camera because we're out of sync.
Okay.
So stop using that GoPro.
We won't use this camera. Yeah, it is out of sync. It really is. It's really weird.
So stop using it.
Okay, sounds good.
And the other thing is, somebody made a comment about we don't talk much about our interior and whether or not we really like it. We absolutely love the blue interior.
Love the blue interior. So I went to Chick-fil-A today, and I wish I was recording. I wasn't recording. I got it on PDR, right? Because the PDR is always recording. But someone came up and said, wow, that's an awesome interior. So I'm happy with the interior, and I think it stands out on that car. That's why I did white, yellow, and blue. Yellow calipers, blue interior, white car, because I'm going to wrap it as well. And I've got the wrap design done, and it goes along with that theme. So with that being said, I need somebody to print this wrap out, and I need somebody to wrap it. I've contacted 3 people. They're open for business. They're doing business, and they blew me off. It's crazy. One of them was here in Louisville that everybody said, contact these people. I went in there, and the guy was a jerk to me. And it's like, I took a 2020 Corvette in there, right? Nobody knows this. I'm like, hey man, I need to wrap my car. Well, what do you got in mind? I said, I've got this. I got Skeppel, who designed it for me down in Florida. Never heard of him. Skeppel is very well known in the wrap business. So he was kind of derogatory towards him. And then PFS out in California used Skeppel almost exclusively. They do an amazing job out there, and that's who I'd rather go to. But I can't get the car out to California to do that. Especially, I can't pay $5,000 in transport fees and another $4,000 in wrap fees, and have that there. But so I just need to find somebody, within 5 or 6 hour drive of Louisville, Kentucky, that can wrap this car for me. Right?
Sounds good.
I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the wrap.
Yeah, I can't either.
And people will finally understand.
Yes. Yes. So with that being said, allocations, let's talk about this a little bit more. Allocations, we were supposed to have consensus this week, and what consensus means is
you lost your
I did. I saw I was trying not to look at it, but Steve was like, in memory of your lost subscribers, humorless jerks. Thanks, Steve, for the 20. So with that, we were supposed to have our consensus this week for telling us how many allocations we get. So basically what consensus does, not with the Corvette, but with any other car currently, is we go in and say, hey, listen, we want to order 100 Silverados this month, this week, whatever the case may be. And then GM sees those consensus and says, okay, well, you've done this and you've done this, and we'll give you 20. Okay. And so we do that. And sometimes we take distressed product, I guess you want to call it distress. Just slower moving product is probably the better way to say it. And GM will award us with extra good, fast moving product. Okay. So that happens a lot. So this week, they basically canceled the consensus. We lost all that extra product that we were supposed to get, and we have 0 allocations for Corvettes, and that should be everywhere across the country, not just us. That's every dealership. So, and Corvette allocations are the first consensus cycle. So that's a little scary. And I was talking to the owner of the company today when I went in there, and I said, so what do you think this means? Do you think we're just done ordering 2020s? Do you think that they're going to come back and say, hey, listen, we'll do one more wave and, you know, you'll get 30 or 40 or whatever? What do you think's going to happen? And we don't know.
Do you think that they are holding off on all this stuff because all the plants are shut down right now and they don't know when they're getting back to work?
That was a conversation of that topic as well, is maybe they're just holding off until they know they can come back, and maybe they'll do one more consensus for Corvettes in May. Right. So, you know, we lose a little Silverado consensus. We lose a little, you know, Blazer consensus, Malibu consensus, not that big of a deal. Right. We'll make do. But when you have such a hot product and such a product that's in huge demand, then it becomes a problem. And so we don't know. We're hoping that they'll come back and say, hey, listen, since we didn't have a consensus in April, we'll do it one more time in May, and we'll be able to close out the model year with that. But at the same time, if we don't start production until May or maybe even June, then there's not going to be a consensus cycle because they can't fulfill those orders and they can't build those cars. So I forgot to look on this. I'm gonna see if I can do this while we're live here. I don't know how many cars are built right now, and my guess is somewhere around 2,500 cars is how many are built. So if that's true, then my speculation of about 12 to 13,000 cars is going to be extremely accurate on how many we build. So is there any questions over there that we can answer about C8, about anything at all? This is a open.
A lot of people are just asking about their 3,000 status.
Okay.
What to expect, whether or not they're going to be getting their 2020s, you know, that type of stuff. Somebody did ask how many C8s were built.
Okay,
but
perfect.
You haven't. You're looking that up.
I'm going to work on that. So let me do this real quick. So I'm typing L510.
And, you know, what with the low production that is speculated right now, what do you think the C8 value is going to do on the used car market?
Oh, the used car market is going to be skyrocketed, right? I mean, anything that's on the used car market is going to bring sticker or above, original MSRP or above. Plain and simple. I didn't get to do this video. I thought about doing this video right out the gate since my car was delayed. What was it, 2 weeks? Since my car was delayed a couple weeks with being in quality hold, I thought about just literally taking it off the truck and taking it right over to CarMax, since they're right across the street from me, in the white wrapper and everything, and just having them appraise the car with the right white wrapper on it and everything. I didn't do that video. You saw I did the dyno video. I thought the dyno video was more interesting and more fun for just to kind of see it, and then also announce how that I was going to actually do the break-in period as by the book, at least the first 500 miles. I've got 1,100 miles on the car now, and I've launched it a few times, and you know, done a 1G corner, done some donuts, stuff like that. That stuff's not really, that's kind of like track use, right? That's where the track is going to be used. So that's kind of like, I should have waited to 1,500 miles on that, but I think I'm okay. They're more worried about like the brake lines and seating in correctly and stuff like that, not so much the engine. All right, so how many cars are built? So there's at least 2,500, and there's not 3,000 cars built. So it's really, really interesting. Let's check 2,800 here. 2,800, nope, there's not 2,800 built.
Somebody posted that they delivered 2,650 about 2 weeks ago.
All right, so sounds good. I'll put 2,651 in here. So 2,651 is at the dealership. So that's good to know. That's what I love about this stuff. So I was pretty close on my accuracy, 2,700. So it's somewhere between 2,700 and 2,800. So I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do this one more time, and we're going to be done with this part of it. 2,750 is not being built yet. So somewhere between 2,700 and 2,750 cars have been built right now. So if we look at that math, we have 2,750. We're just gonna use that 6 weeks, right? That was how much. I think we can say 6 weeks of production, right?
Yeah, about 6 weeks.
So that's 458 per week that they built the first 6 weeks of production. So if they come back in May, and we have all of May, all of June, all of July, August, all of July, August. We have 4 months. So we have 4, 8, 12. We have 16. We have 16 weeks. That means that's, ooh, man, my math might have been a little off. But so that's 7328. No, it's not off. I know what it is. 7328 plus the 2750 is 10,078 units. So, but they're not running that capacity, right? They had some hiccups in that 5th week, I think, in that 6th week, that there were some hiccups that slowed production down based off of, I had cars that were supposed to be built that week that didn't get built. So I know that there's slowdown, right? So that's where I'm getting my information at, because I have cars that were supposed to be built the week of 3/9 and 3/16, and they didn't get built. So with that being said, I know there's slowdowns, I know there's hiccups, and I know there's rumors out there that says they laid the second shift off. I never confirmed that. I never even really looked into it. But that's what happened there. So yeah, I think if they get up to full production, they start building that 150 a day. That 12 and 13,000 is going to be the max that we're going to see for the year of 2020. Hopefully it's more, but I don't think it's going to be there. Any questions there that we can answer?
Well, I'm gonna have to go to the phone because my internet is not working on my computer. Nice. So
okay, sounds good. So we talk about 3,000 status, right? Yeah, that was brought up. I forgot to go off that because I was going off of how many cars were being built. But basically, if your car's at 3,000 status, you should be good, right? So all of these orders are pre-coronavirus, and all of these orders should be able to get picked up from May or June through September. I don't anticipate anybody not getting a car that's at 3,000 status. It can happen, but I don't anticipate it. So that's kind of my thought process and my take on someone said go Dodgers and wearing I was going to take this off and I forgot. But yeah, so I don't think anybody who's got a car at 3,000 status is at jeopardy. If your car's at 1,100 status, including my clients, you're at jeopardy of getting a 2020. And and I would say
2021.
No, you're not going to get a 2020.
Oh, but you said you're in jeopardy of getting a 2020 is how you put
not
it.
You're in jeopardy of not getting a 2020. That goes along with my clients. And I would say that if you're 1,100 status, that you might as well bank on getting a 2021, plain and simple. Let's just right now get it out there. Let's just go with worst case scenario. That way you're not let down. Again, this is an emotional roller coaster. This is something that is absolutely ups and downs. It's been tough, and it is what it is, right? We just have to deal with it. Again, most of this is not GM's fault. Most I would say probably 80% of it is not GM's fault. It's out of their control, their hands. I think the union wanted to make an example out of GM. They kind of pick who they had. We had the Corvette launching. The union knew that, and you saw that Chrysler and Ford union stuff went pretty quick. So because we were made the example. Next time that the unions are out there, I promise you GM will not be an example. They'll pick on Ford or Chrysler. Plain and simple.
Okay. This is a great question we had come in on the phone. It says, I'm at 3,000 status with no TPW. Can I make any small changes like adding carbon flash mirrors and spoiler without resetting or messing up the 3,000 status?
In short, no. Once you're at 2,000 status, you cannot make any more changes. So we were just talking about this off air, and I'm not going to get into the details of what we were talking about, but no, you can't do it. If you go back to 2,000 status right now, or actually 1,100 status right now, because that's where you need to be at to change, you have to wait until that dealership gets allocations again, and that may be never. So that's basically where you're at. So once you're at 2,000 status, is what I tell every single one of my clients. Once you're at 2,000 status, no. But here's the great news. Is if that's the change you want to make, you just want to make those mirrors carbon flash or the spoiler carbon flash, those things come off. And no, you're not going to spend $100. You're going to spend a little bit more than that, but you're going to spend maybe $400. You can get that stuff taken off, painted carbon flash, put it right back on the car and have it, and not lose the opportunity to get your car built. So that's what I would do. And I know, like here locally, I'm not sure how many places are out there, but you know, I don't use a traditional body shop. I use 360 Express Collision Detail, and they kind of do everything. But there's independent body shops out there that do things at a really good cost, and you should be able to find somebody between that $400 and $600 range to take those mirrors off. They'll physically take them off. They'll physically take the spoiler off and do everything. So 360's going to spray my car with the paint protection spray next week, and they actually have my ground effects. My ground effects came in. Yay. My ground effects are here, and they're spraying. They got them right now, and they're spraying them. Basically, it's like an expel, but it's sprayed, and I think it's a little bit better than anything that you stick on the car. And so they're going to spray the whole thing, and that way there's no lines and no chances of anything happening. And these are $7,000 ground effects. So
Okay.
I want to protect them.
You're crazy. And he gets talking way too much sometimes. But this is a great question. So if you're at 1100 status, can you change your order considering the new options?
Yes. So you can. And Chalk, you know I got a W flag. I've got a big old W flag in my other room. But yeah, so if you're at 1100 status, you can make any changes that you want. And but here's I think is the proper standard operating procedure for your orders. This is what I do. I guarantee you this is not what other dealers do, but I'm so analytical that I want to make sure that I don't have any mistakes with my customers. I don't want any issues. And I want things done right. I made one mistake on a C7, and that's because, and I told the customer, no problem, I'll get it done. And I got busy and I didn't get it done. Thankfully, it was just black wheels, and I was able to powder coat them for the customer, and the customer was happy. That was the important thing, that I made the customer happy, and it was something such little. If I were to need to put
magnetic ride
control, GT3 seats, now I'm in trouble, right? Can't do that after the fact. So the way that I want to work things is you give me your deposit, and once I know that I can confirm that I'm going to get you able to get you a car, which this kind of goes back a ways on 2020 because we have all these hiccups. But then at that point, I will put your order in at 1100 status, and then with my personal dealership, we take an additional deposit. So once I take your order and your deposit, you're locked in. At that point, I tell my clients that there will be no order changes on this order until I call you and say, hey, listen, I'm going to move your order to the next stage, which is 2000 status. And at that point, and I just mentioned this, there's no changes from General Motors. You can't make a change on a 2000 status and above. So at that point, I want to make a change. We're going to make any changes, and I'm going to push your order. And what I do with my clients is I have them sign off on the order, and a very specific that, hey, this order is 100% accurate. I've triple checked it. I understand that there's no more changes after today, and this is the car I'm taking delivery of. They know that up front, and every one of my clients seem to like my directness, seem to like my, forward speaking stuff, and just being candid about it, because there's no gray area. There's no, what's he mean? Or I'm not fully understanding that, stuff like that. So I'm pretty analytical about that. And the reason I'm analytical about that is because, I had someone call me, and he was telling me that he made multiple changes on his car with his dealership, and his dealership made those changes. Well, somewhere in the middle of one of those changes, they took magnetic ride control off of his car. He didn't catch it. They didn't catch it, which they shouldn't catch it, right? It's difficult. I couldn't tell you I didn't know that I ordered black mirrors on my car, right? This is my own personal car. I forgot that I ordered black mirrors. I thought I left them white because I knew I was going to wrap the car. So why spend the $100, right? So, and then I get my invoice, and I'm like, oh, I did do this. I didn't remember doing this. And I'm like, sweet, this is good, right? So, so I can't remember my own order. So a dealership to remember a customer's order is no way, shape, or form going to happen. That's why I print everything out. That's why I have a folder with your name on it and have all of the details in there. So when that car finally got pushed, the customer now realizes, I don't have magnetic ride control on this anymore. I missed it. And he wants to change it and he can't. So that's why I'm so analytical on making one change. And that's it. Just one change. And that's at the time of 2000 status, because that way you don't like, well, I want orange or I want yellow now, or I'm going back to orange. Well, I better go yellow. I really want to do yellow, and I'm making those changes back and forth.
Those colors are hard to figure out
They
sometimes.
are. Absolutely they are.
And somebody did ask about the Accelerate Yellow, how it looks, making sure it doesn't look like a fire truck.
It doesn't look like a fire truck. I've got videos on it. I think I did a really good video on Accelerate Yellow. I had to go through a fence to get it. I did have an opportunity to video an Accelerate Yellow in the open that I was able to touch the car, right? Not through a fence. But the car was really, really dirty. And I was like, I started recording it and I'm like, this isn't going to be a good video. So I just scrapped the idea. I wanted to walk into the plant and say, hey, can I take your car and get it washed? Or, can I go get a bucket and wash your car and let me video it real quick? But, it was real cloudy that day and stuff like that. But the Accelerate Yellow is phenomenal color. I love it. That was one of my first color choices as well. So Rapid Blue, Yellow, were my two color choices because I wanted something different to stand out. And, so that's what I was going to do. And I just didn't do it. But no, it's a phenomenal color. And if you go back and look at my video, I think I did a really good video on it.
Somebody says, I have bought 10. I'm all kinds of comfortable. I think I know who that is.
I've bought 10.
They're talking about buying cars from you.
Yeah, it's Trish. TNT. Yeah. Trish Zimmer, Tony. Shout out. They asked me for a shout out, I think, last time.
No, you mentioned them when we were just talking about.
She's just on here to hear her name. That's why she's on here, right? So
it's time to buy another car, Trish.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, look, salesman Andy over here. You'd be a great salesman, saleswoman, salesperson.
Am I a man, a woman, or a person?
I don't know. I'm not going to assume your gender. That's politically incorrect.
I don't know if I could do the whole selling thing.
It's tough.
Because I would sit there and see somebody who is trying to stretch their budget or, maybe not afford something and be like, have a real hard time actually trying to get them to buy what I'm selling. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it, right? It's difficult. And when someone comes in and they do that, I have to, I counsel them. I tell them I don't think that's a good idea, but if they're saying, I'm going to continue doing it, I can't tell them no because they're just going to go buy from the dealership down the street. So I just have to deal with it.
Very true.
Someone said fire trucks are red. Some fire trucks are yellow.
Yes.
J-Town, where my dealership is, Jeffersontown, Kentucky. Their fire trucks are yellow. I love their yellow fire trucks. I prefer red, but the yellow look cool.
I mean, it stands out.
Brock Phillips, how are you, buddy?
Okay, somebody asked about the 2021 pre-allocation or pre-order allocations, and they are like, if GM doesn't fulfill all 2020 orders, how will that affect the allotment of 2021 models? Will customers who didn't get their order fulfilled get first priority on 2021?
So that's really a question up to your dealership, but I'll answer how I am doing it. So my orders go in based off of the time and the date that you gave me your order. So if you gave me your deposit, your reservation deposit. So if you gave me a deposit on July 19th at 10:15 p.m. and someone came in right after you on July, whatever I said date at 1 minute later, they're going to get theirs before you, right? So, or they're going to get theirs after you. Excuse me. I'm saying it all wrong. So, so that's the way I do it. I do it in the order that the deposit was taken. So when I call and say, hey, listen, I can put your order in, you have 4 options. Option 1, refund me my money. I don't want a car anymore. Perfect. No problem. Here it is. I don't even ask questions why. I just do it. Number 2 is, yep, let's do it. I'm ready to go forward. I know exactly what I want. Number 3 is, hey, Mike, it's bad timing. Whatever the case may be, right? You may be it may be at a time that, hey, when's the car going to be delivered to me? December. Well, I'm in Michigan. I'm not going to take delivery of a Corvette in December. So can we make this so that way I get it in April? Yep, no problem. I'll put it in my calendar to call you and get your order in then, right? So you can wait for various reasons, weather related, personal reasons, whatever the case may be. And then 4, hey, I want to wait for a higher horsepower model. So that's the way it is. So if I have somebody that's got a 2020 order in right now and I have their $5,000 non-refundable deposit, they will move over to the 2021 in the order that it was done. So I don't delete anybody off my list until I deliver a car. Once the car's delivered, that's when they get deleted off of my Excel spreadsheet for stuff. So, so that's the way I do it. I can't speak on other dealers' behalf, but that's the way I do it. And I think, again, that's kind of the right way to do it, of making it fair with everybody and just getting things done. Somebody asked, I saw a comment in here, when to expect the Z06. I've said this from day one, before when the car was announced in July, or when I knew early on. I think I knew in January, February, when the car was going to be announced and where it was going to be announced and the theme of it being announced, which I've gotten videos. I got, Easter eggs in videos, which I put Easter eggs in my videos all the time, and people just don't always pick up for them. One of the Easter eggs I put in my video 2 weeks ago was, they really need to make this carbon fiber on the high wing, when I did the high wing spoiler, and ta-da, look what we have coming next year, high wing spoiler carbon fiber. So I knew that already, and I just kind of put that in there just to kind of, be able to come back and say, hey, I know a lot more, and that way nobody can discredit me, because there is a lot of haters out there, and it's like, I don't want them to try to affect my business by saying, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Because they can never do that. But so I think that we're going to see 2021 announce the Z06 sometime in 2021, probably in June-ish, May-ish, sometime around there, maybe a little bit earlier in the year. But because we got the Detroit Auto Show that's happening in June now, right? I think that's when it's going to happen. It's happening over the summer now. It's not
Something
happening in
like
January.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't pay attention enough.
So, but we still do have the car of the year at the beginning of the year. So it could be done there. But it's going to be a 2022 model year. So I think a lot of the stuff out there is not really true, as far as they're having problems with it, all that good stuff. Yeah, I think 2022 is when we're going to see that car, which 2022 should start up in July, I think, of 2021 is when it's going to start up, because 2021 production is going to start in September. So September to late June, early July. And then once they come back from 4th of July holiday, they'll start 2021s and move from there. 2022.
You're getting all confused on your numbers.
Yeah, all the
there.
numbers are confusing.
I just like to tell you that you lost a customer during this live stream, because she's here for me. So I will be her saleswoman from
Good.
now on.
She can go to Jeff, and he can help her buy cars.
But we had Darren say, my dealer just called me and has a car nearly identical to my status 3000 build, just torch red. If I want to guarantee myself a car, would you recommend I drop my pending order if the dealer can do it?
So
basically, yes, it sounds like they have a car available, yes, but it's not the color he wanted.
Take it. If you're willing to take that color, again, you're speaking to a guy that did it, right? I didn't want a white car, and white's the number one color for Corvette. I don't like to fit in with people. I don't like to be like other people. I like to do things on my own. I like to be different. And I have a little bit of shock value on some of the things that I do, because it's just fun for me, right? So if you're willing to take a different color and it gets you a car up front, do it. Do it all day long. If you don't like the color red and you want yellow or you want white, wrap the thing, right? Do whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, that could be an easy way, so that you get a car.
Yep.
And Chester said, if a customer is facing hardship due to coronavirus and they have their 5% deposit down, is there a way of backing out without losing your 5% deposit?
At like any dealership? Yeah, it's just up to the dealership, is what it is. So a lot of people are saying that the Detroit Auto Show is canceled. Yes, I know it's canceled this year, but I'm talking for Z06 for 2021 Auto Show of when I think that car is going to be announced. So I think sometime in May, June, maybe a little beforehand, the Z06 is going to be announced next year at the Detroit Auto Show. And then for a 22 model year, it'll be started building in July or so.
Okay. And we got, should I get deposit back and order from another dealer, or am I automatically going to get a 2021 from my dealer? I'm not using that word.
Yeah, so it's up to the dealership what they want to do. That's a dealership protocol. It's a dealership standard operating procedure. It's not something that we've talked about at our dealership what we're going to do. But if it happens, it happens. I'll discuss it and we'll come across that. But it's on a dealership level. I think personally, I don't know. It's just at a dealership level. So I think if you committed to buying a car, you buy a car. I don't think there's any reason why someone should get a 20 over a 21. I don't know the difference between it. And it looks like next year we'll have some additional colors that's been leaked. So
yeah,
and that leak looks legit.
A couple people have said, disappointing because we're not having a dark gray like the cyber gray.
Yep.
They're still not putting out a decent green.
They need to do like a Lambo green, Ford green, Lambo green.
At least if they're gonna keep with GM colors, go to Synergy green.
Yeah, Synergy green from the the Gen 5 Camaro, right? Yeah, so definitely. They need to do better on colors. Somebody mentioned right up front that the colors suck. They do. I agree with that. I think the colors are very bland and very boring, and then they can do better on colors. And I think they need to do some exotic colors. And if we sell 50 of those exotic colors, make it a $2,000 premium paint cost, right? Have them,
Well, and I think the Rapid Blue was them getting out of their comfort zone a little bit because that's not a normal blue shade for GM.
Definitely not, right?
Because even like, what is it, the Carlisle blue or something that's a baby, almost like a baby, powder baby, whatever, powder blue. But, not something like that Rapid Blue that seems to be more on the neon and the, supercar colors.
Yeah. If this car is competing in the supercar world, we need to have supercar colors. We need to have just those crazy colors that people say, what are you thinking? You guys are dumb. Or people saying, wow, that is so cool. I don't know of very many people that Lamborghini green people hate, right? They may not drive it. They may not buy it. But when you see that Lamborghini green drive by you, every single person like, wow, look at that car.
I want purple.
Of course you do. I know another guy who likes purple, and he just wraps all his cars purple.
No, I want the purple, like the Purple Princess that was on the STS years ago.
I'm triggered over Purple Princess. So back in 2005, you guys can start calling me this. I don't really care. Back in 2005, I had a Cadillac STS that was called Black Cherry. And so I thought it was cool, right? I told you guys earlier, I kind of like going outside the circle. I kind of like being different. I kind of like the little shock value. I don't need to go shock and all and all that stuff, but I do like having different stuff. I don't like being normal. So we had this Black Cherry vehicle, and with my dealership, we would drive our cars to 5,000 miles. And where we lived in relationship to the dealership, it would take me a year to get to 5,000 miles because I live right next door to the dealership, basically. And so I brought this car home, and the kids start calling me Purple Princess. And what was the color on the Corvette 2 years ago? The
Black Rose.
Black Rose. It's basically the same color. And you refused
to get the Black Rose.
So basically, the Black Rose Corvette was the same color as this STS, and the kids started calling me Purple Princess, and like they got their friends to call me Purple Princess. People at school call me Purple Princess. People at work call me Purple Princess. So after about 1,500 miles of having the car, back on the lot. I don't want this car anymore. I don't even think I had 1,500 miles. I think I had like 4 on it, and 400 miles. And I'm like, yeah, we're not driving this car anymore. I got everybody started making fun of me. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, that was so fun.
It was fun. It was fun. Like
I bent the rim twice in that car?
No, that was the red one. Oh,
yep. I thought it was that one.
Nope, it was the red one. I put the rims on the red one. I had a red Jewel 10 coat color car, and I put 22s I think on that, and they were really, really thin. And this is 2005, right? So the spinners had just came out of the phase. Spinners were like early 2000s. I didn't put spinners on any cars, and being that I was the manager of the dealership and in charge of the dealership, I was pretty much able to do whatever I wanted to do. So I had a wheel company in California that I would put these wheels on, and they're awesome looking wheels, but hitting a pothole or big speed bump, you bent the rim, and she bent two of them.
Somebody asked where your St. Louis
I
jersey
saw that.
is.
Go ahead and block Jimmie Johnson, please, or Jimmie Joseph, please.
There is no
I'm so disappointed
Cardinals here.
I was so disappointed that this week that they announced the London game is canceled. We actually had tickets to the London game, and we don't have them anymore. So they refunded the money. I guess they did. I haven't checked that credit card, but it does. It does. So Andrew asked, any more leaks on the 2020? I'm not going to do any leaks on the 2021. Excuse me, he said 2021. I'm not going to do leaks and stuff. I've got a guy that just hates me at GM, and I don't know why he hates me. I like him. I don't hate anybody, right? I mean, someone can hate me, and that's fine, but I still like them. And he's related to a very big executive at GM. And every time I do something, he calls the owner and complains, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about what we talk about at work on that. But so I don't want this guy to call me. I don't want this guy, losing focus on what we're trying to do at work, and that's sell cars and build our company. So, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of leaks. If I know something that's out there, like I just saw, all these leaks, and I didn't do a video on it. And probably 4 months ago, I would have done a video on this, like, here's the leaks, right? But I've got my car now, and the reason I got my car was to do owner videos, to have some fun with it, entertain with it, all that stuff. Like, I was going to do videos of taking customers for rides and stuff like that, but I can't do that right now with coronavirus. I told everybody that, hey, you can come to the dealership and set it in the car. If you want to drive the car, if you're interested in buying one and need to test drive it beforehand, you can do so. And when I got the car the first few days, I was letting people sit in it. I did let a customer drive it, right? And he put a deposit down. He bought a car from us. He put a deposit down to buy a 2021. So that's what the car was for, right? There's no other dealership in the country that can do that because they don't have a car. So that was helping my company and myself out. And even if salesman B right next to me or salesman C on this side of me wanted to have a customer test drive a car and they got the deposit, I'm okay with that. Well, I let some random person sit in it, doesn't know who I am, doesn't follow me on social media, could care less, just came in and saw the car and is like, hey, can I sit in that car? And I'm like, sure, go ahead. The very first thing he does, as soon as he sits down in the car, he starts coughing in his hand, and then he puts his hand on my steering wheel to get out. And it freaked me out. So I went and got hand sanitizer and sanitizing wipes and wiped all the car down and everything like that. And I was like, went into management, like, no more sitting in my car. Told them what that is, and they're like, hey, we agree with you, and I'll just wait till coronavirus is over and we can set my car again. Okay,
I'm loving this. So Fury707 says, how do you guys manage to spend all day together and then manage to make a show without killing each other?
I don't know. That's a better question for you to answer, I think.
The thing I will say to everybody is when you essentially grow up with someone, and we met each other when we were 14 years old, and we have grown up together. So it just makes it so much easier to handle some of the crap that the other person does.
Yeah, like I have to put up a lot of your crap.
No. Anybody that knows you knows that I put up with the most amount of crap, and nobody understands how I do it.
I don't know how you do it either. No, but yeah, we're high school sweethearts, right? We met the second week of high school, 15 years old. You were 14 maybe, right?
14.
Yeah, I was 15. You were 14. And here we are 26 years later together. We've been married almost 21. So, and I haven't killed her. She hasn't killed me. I might start a tiger sanctuary and she comes up missing. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that.
We have talked about getting a big cat because Corey, our younger boxer, loves to chase our cat, and our cat has no claws to defend itself, so she hasn't learned to back off.
Trish, block that TNT person, would you? So
she knows how you are too.
Yeah, she does. So William texted me in. He's someone who's got a deposit in with me. He asked me to explain the GT1 seats and the GT2 seats, so that he can't make up a decision. So the GT1 seats really don't have much of a side bolster or in your rib cage here kitten in. So
Aren't you also limited on color?
yes, well, no, because you can get GT1 seats and the 2LT.
But you're
So
still limited on color between the 1 and the 2. So until you go to a 3LT, you don't have your whole range of color.
right, correct.
So there are still limits on color.
Yeah, but you can do two-tone seats and stuff like that, I think, still. So
I thought two-tone seats were
3LT maybe.
3LT.
It's so confusing when you get into that.
Don't make me know more than you.
Yeah, for real. So, and I just experienced this. When we published this video, we did a 1G turn, and this clover leaf off ramp that I did like 70 miles an hour. We pulled a little over 1G, and when I was doing that, I noticed that side bolster just right into my rib cage, and it felt good. It felt really good that I was sitting in that seat and I wasn't moving and swaying all over. On a GT1 seat, if you do something like that, you're gonna move around unless you're a big guy. I mean, I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds. So,
are you saying I need to gain weight so I don't move around in my seat?
No, don't do that. So,
because I moved.
So, but maybe because you need to adjust them. Those side bolsters will come out. So, like I have mine adjusted so they're snug on me. So that's probably why.
Well, maybe I need a salesman to show me how to do that.
It's not your car.
Oh, that's right.
This is my car.
Okay.
Silence.
Fine.
I like
I won't do anything. So no, the purple one's crickets.
That one's better anyways. But so basically the difference between the GT1 and the GT2 is the side bolsters and the seat bolsters. So with my GT2 seats, my left leg does kind of go into that bolster a little bit. It's kind of annoying, so I have to basically tell myself to adjust and get in that seat. Right. It feels like when I'm setting it, this is me personally, it feels like I'm setting it crooked. And my natural setting is just kind of like this. So maybe this way is crooked, but, I just have to adjust a little bit. Cat's in here. He's in his room. So I have to adjust just a little bit to do stuff. But, the one thing that I love about the GT2 seat is that it's got the carbon fiber all right here. And I'm a huge carbon fiber guy. And so that carbon fiber is a really, really nice thing. And one thing I didn't like on this,
but it has nothing to do with the actual seat.
No, it has nothing to do with the design of the seat. But the so I've got a lot of seat time in this GT1 seat now because a friend of mine got a GT1 seat and I sat in it for a long time. And a GT1 seat is very, very comfortable. And the GT2 seat is very comfortable. The GT3 seat is not comfortable, a competition seat. So that was the one thing I didn't like about the C7. In order to get all that carbon fiber up here, I had to go to the competition seat, and I didn't want to go to the competition seat on that car. I kind of wish I did now, because now I see the Comp 3 seat of the C8.
I'm going to sit there and have to listen to you complain about your back and other problems if you went to the competition seats. And I've told you before, wait till you see if you buy a higher horsepower C8.
Right.
Don't do it with just this one. But somebody did say now I would have to get a 2021 C8, which I don't think so. I will stick with my manual transmission C7.
Yeah, I'll probably drive the manual transmission next week sometime.
What?
For probably 2 days.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't even been able to drive it.
Yeah, well, I got to drop the C8 off at 360.
Yeah.
Because we're spraying it and ceramic coating it and all that stuff.
No.
What am I going to drive? How am I going to get to work?
I don't know. The C8's been getting all the attention.
Yeah,
the Tesla and the C7 have not been driven in who knows how long.
I only got 1,100 miles on the C8 though, so it's not like I'm killing it with miles. Like we really tried, which we published that video. We really had to do some work that day to get, to 500 miles. I mean, we literally, I tried to drove back and forth to Louisville twice that day, 3 times that day, I think. So that's 75 miles. So. And then we did 20-something mile trip over to Corton, Indiana, and got our picture in front of Butt Drugs, which was perfect. That was like, if nobody who lives around here doesn't know what Butt Drugs is. And when I first moved down here in 2008, I saw all these stickers. You know how the I Heart New York. Well, I saw I Heart Butt Drugs, and I'm like, what? What am I seeing? I love butt drugs. what the hell is Butt Drugs? And then I find out that these people's last name's Butt, and that's their company. And I was like, that's an awesome name.
Yeah, it's
And
great that they market based on the play of their name.
Yeah, and did you know they have free parking in the rear?
Okay, let's get back to topic a little bit.
Yep.
I'm going back up.
Eric asked, no convertible yet. Nope. April 1st was supposed to be the first day of convertible, and that's not going to happen. So they're probably going to be behind. They close the plant down middle of March, right?
Yes.
So they're going to, whenever they start up, it's going to be 2 weeks before convertibles start. So whenever they start up, I would
assume that, because they were already getting behind on some of their orders.
2 to 3 weeks before convertibles start production.
Okay. Somebody said, if I made a deal with the dealer for a car and now want to back out because of the virus, I haven't signed a bill of sale yet. They did a PPF already. What should I do?
You're pretty locked into that if they're spending money on it. I mean, again, that's a question you have to do the dealer, but in my opinion, that's your car and you need to buy that car. Now, if you're in a job that you're not getting paid and stuff like that, I understand that. I understand that completely 100%. So, but yeah, so if they're doing good faith work, installing PPF, which is expensive, as you know, all that stuff, you just need to talk to them and say, hey, what do I need to do? I'm scared because of the virus. I'm out of work, whatever the case may be.
AC said Tesla or C8. I will say Tesla when somebody buys me a Model X P100D with the ludicrous mode. That, I enjoyed driving my Tesla, but I also enjoy driving the C7 and the couple times I've driven the C8. He hasn't really let me drive the C8 much, so I need to get a little more time behind the wheel to see how much I really like that. But I do know from just a little bit of driving it, I miss having a manual transmission car when I'm driving the Corvette.
The manual transmission is really nice. I drove the C7 someday earlier this week, last week, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about what a manual transmission is like. All right, we got another question.
Oh, I'm supposed to be going on questions? I don't even know if this person's still on, but at the beginning of the show, somebody was saying something about 2019's Z06s, finding them for a deep discount. And my thought process, if you want a C7 and it's a deep discount, go buy it.
Yeah, I had one of my deposit people. He's just got $1,000 that he can back out anytime for any reason. He called me and said, "Hey, what should I do?" I'm like, I can't answer questions on what you should do, right? It would, because I always joke when I said it. I mean, my opinion, stick with the C8, right? I want a car sale, right? I can't sell this guy a new Z06. So I always joke that way, just kind of to let them know that I'm being serious and I want to try to give them the best information I can. But, I can't give you advice on what you should do. That's got to be on you. But, if you look at it, it's two totally different animals. If you haven't driven a C8, then you just don't know. It's two totally different animals. And at the same time, yes, the Z06 is out there and it's really, it's got 650 horsepower, 650 foot-pounds of torque. But the C8 is faster than the C8 is faster than the C7 Z06, and it's faster than the C7 ZR1. So the horsepower doesn't mean anything because this is a totally different engineered vehicle.
And I will say, there are some things on the C8 driving it, just a little bit I've done, that I wish were on the C7. The C8 sticks to the road like no other. I mean, I have been so impressed with how well that sticks to the road, especially at high speeds. And I wish my C7 stuck that way. So, I mean, there are things you give up. The looks are totally different. I mean, if you put them side by side, they look absolutely different. And, I mean, it's just kind of one of these things. You give up stuff by going with the C7. But if money's a criteria and you want to save a lot of money, why not?
Yeah.
Especially because I saw it was a manual transmission.
Yeah. You see your super chat?
Yes.
You got yourself a little super chat there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. I like it when people acknowledge me.
I love having you on the channel. It's fun. It's it's brought a different dynamic to the channel. I think we can kind of showcase some of the things that we do and we have fun with. And we were talking about the other day off camera that do people realize that we joke a lot and we kind of act like we fight, but we're not really fighting because we don't really fight. Thank goodness, but because she knows better. So
whatever. No, I mean, half the stuff that we say to each other on camera, we actually say to each other off camera, and it's always a joke.
100%. Yeah, it's just we
harass each other nonstop. We are constantly joking with each other. We have been that way pretty much our whole relationship.
Yeah. I mean, it's what happens when you grow up 14, 15 years old. And
we've had people tell us that, hey, I want that type of relationship sometime. You know, I want to have that type of relationship with my significant other because we're so playful and, you know, it's hard. People, I mean, I think our kids are probably the only ones that have ever really seen us fight. And we have a fight once a blue moon.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you last time we had an argument because you know better.
Well, let's get back to this. Now, R. Williams said, so why is your dealership closed but others are open? Let's talk about how your dealership is technically closed.
Yeah, so the governor of Kentucky said, you're not an essential business, you need to close.
As in the sales department of
yes.
a dealership is not essential.
Right. I saw a test drive today. When I was coming home, I saw the GMC dealership on a test drive with a customer driving, salesman in the passenger seat. And I'm like, wow. And I guess it's a huge fine. I don't know what it is. And that's their business. It's not like I'm a snitch on them or anything, but, the governor of Kentucky said the sales department of a car dealership is non-essential. You're not allowed to conduct business. So we followed the rules, right? So is it hurting our business? Absolutely, it's hurting our business. Is Mr. Bachman and Mrs. Bachman and the other Mr. Bachman, are they probably stressed a little bit about their business right now? I bet they are, right? So, but they're making tough decisions. They're making good decisions. They're taking care of people the best they can. And the back office staff, our controller, our office manager, I know she's making tough decisions. She's making the right decisions. And it's just tough business decisions that we need to make. So basically what we have done is you can buy a car from Bachman Chevrolet still, but there is zero contact with any employee of the company. No test drives are allowed. You're not allowed to come just sit in the car, right? I mean, imagine if we let somebody sit in the car, they had coronavirus, they left those germs on the steering wheel, you get in afterwards, you got the steering wheel, you touch your face, you touch your mouth, whatever the case may be, your kid, your toddler does it, right? And you can track it and you can prove that it came from Bachman Chevrolet, the lawsuit that our company would have. So we are protecting ourselves. We're trying to protect you and we're trying to do the right thing. Is doing the right thing very difficult financially and business choice? Absolutely it is, but they're making the right decision. And I've just basically, what I did is I just told management, I will do whatever you want me to do. I'm here for you. I'm here for the company. But when I came out of the 2008, 2009 economy, I learned that I need to find different revenue streams to protect myself in the event that something like this happens again. And here we are with YouTube and social media, and I get paid for doing this, right? So that's why it's important for their super chats. But no, so I basically told them that I'm going to step out. I will allow other salespeople to sell cars and make a commission, and I won't take any deals. And so that's what I did to try to help out my team and to try to help out people. And that's kind of where it is, I guess. It sucks. It truly does.
Yeah, and make no mistake, Bachman Chevrolet is in Kentucky. That is what the Kentucky governor has deemed to be non-essential for sales. Other states are allowing dealership car sales as an essential business. So, I mean, each state is different, and how each state's handling the whole health crisis right now is different. So, we're just doing the best we can, and he's putting me in a ton of videos now because I guess what else am I going to be doing?
Not killing me. So
I might be killing you after they see a couple upcoming videos.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah.
So Doberman Canine said orange C8 best color. Do you agree? It's a good color. I don't know if it's the best color, but it's up there. Like I thought about doing orange because that was the very first color of the C8 that I saw. But it's pretty phenomenal color. And then Start On Promotions came up and said, speak of GT2 and comp seats. I remember hearing you say you may have made a mistake getting GT2. I think I'm backpedaling on that. I don't think I made a mistake on getting GT2. I just, I was sitting in those, and now that I've had the car for 1,100 miles, I'm getting in, and I got a, just like many Americans, kind of got to have a bum lower back, and I'm getting in my car, and my back is flaring up with pain. So I haven't had a sports car since July when I sold the Camaro, and I've been driving the truck, and I would drive the Corvette every once in a while. Well, getting into our garage with the Corvette where it's at, it's making me twist my back some, and it's been hurting. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't get GT3 seats, the competition seats. Now I love the looks of them, but I'm glad I stuck with the GT2. The competition seats are really for competition. They're really for driving.
Hey, there's actually a question for me.
Yay.
That doesn't happen very often. But AC said, Mrs. Chevy Dude, were you always into cars? And I will say, you're saying no.
No, that's what
you
I'm saying.
have no clue, obviously, because when I was 15, 16 years old, I was always looking at cars, but I was looking at Lambos, Porsches, Lotus. I was always on to supercars.
Yeah, same
Exotics.
Here. Same here. I saw a Ferrari the other day with the whole red engine on it, and I'm like, that's why I did the red engine cover. Brock Phillips, one of my clients with C8 on order, is the high wing unconstrained. It is not unconstrained. There's no constraints on C8s right now because there's no available allocations. So I don't know what, I got 2 cars there. I mentioned this earlier in the video. I got 2 cars being held up, and it was because they were waiting on spoilers. So constraint means that the manufacturer is having a problem making them, and it's holding up production. This maybe they were just on the edge of that, but they never went on constraint. So I'm sure the manufacturer, well, they're probably not. They're probably not working. Never mind. I was going to say they're probably making them, but no, they're probably not. Have you put 2 golf bags in the trunk? No. I'm going to do that this weekend and have a video up next week, the week after. So with that, me not working, I'm trying to upload 5 days a week. I might go to 7. It's tough to get this content out there. And someone earlier was like, you're clickbaiting. I'm not clickbaiting. I definitely have to make my stuff clickable, right? I have to make thumbnails and titles that you want to click on them. That is not clickbait. Clickbait is when I title something and it's completely not in the video, or it's completely opposite of what my title was. I got pulled over by police. I was arrested by the police. Now it's not the case. Right now, I was almost arrested by the police, and my thumbnail was with me in handcuffs next to a cop car. And through the transaction, I like, hey, listen, I can arrest you for this, or whatever the conversation is. Now, that's not clickbait. That's clickable stuff. I've got to make stuff clickable. There's 400 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every minute. So YouTube algorithm works off of 2 things: title and thumbnail. Nothing else matters. Title and thumbnail. Those are the 2 main subjects. Those are the 2 main things with YouTube. So if my title is good and my thumbnail is good, that's what gets the clicks. I don't want to clickbait. I do not want to give false information, but I do make my stuff clickable 100% of the time. That's what sells, and that's what gets things clicked on, and that's how I get paid off of YouTube.
Trish is telling on you, says he has put kids in the trunk.
I have put kids in the trunk. Yeah. So that's,
we haven't put a kid in a C8 trunk, but we put a dog in it.
Yeah, we put the dog in the C8 trunk. What, was that a dream? What was I doing? Oh no. Oh, where's that video at? I got a video of putting someone in the C8 trunk. Where is that video? Ooh.
I don't know.
This is what happens when you create too much video.
Okay.
It just triggered me that I forgot that I did that, and I got somebody that I got a customer in the trunk of a C8. And where's that video at? Did my camera not record it?
Yeah, that would be possible.
Oh man.
So we have Zet person asked earlier, how did you take the thumbnail photo?
What do you mean? What thumbnail photo?
Well, I would assume tonight's thumbnail photo.
Thumbnail? It's all photoshopped. So, so tonight's thumbnail photo
isn't that the one on the second?
It's on the 2nd Street Bridge, right? So, but me standing there is Photoshop. Actually, that picture is from Nevada of me standing there in my blue Corvette pullover like this. That's from Nevada. But the car on the bridge is not photoshopped. I literally stopped on a bridge and took the picture. So right when Kentucky was put on lockdown, I went out and paid a photographer, which I tag him on Instagram on all my pictures. His name is ZJ. He's a really, really good car photographer. But we went out that morning and we just took a bunch of pictures everywhere. And because there was nobody on the street, we went up on the bridge, and I said, let's go up on the bridge and we'll stop in the middle of it and take some pictures. I was on Main Street, right? It's always one of the busiest streets, but Main Street's downtown Louisville, probably one of the busiest streets downtown. And I literally was parked in the middle of the street for 5 minutes before a car came up, and the car that came up was a police officer, and he just turned and kept going, didn't even do anything. And that was right when the coronavirus started hitting, and it shut everything down. We were still open, but that Monday is when we're like, this is our last day at 11 o'clock or whatever the case may be, or 8 o'clock.
Okay, another question. It says, on the 18th of March, I gave a dealer a check and did my configuration. I did not sign any paperwork. Check has not cleared yet. Will my 2020 Vet be built?
You got to talk to the dealer on that, but if they haven't cleared your check, March 18th. Yeah, I would definitely call the dealership because they should have cashed your check. So I don't know why they're holding it up. They might have forgot, right? They might have put it in a deal jacket and it got done. Steven said, do you think GM should make a fuel efficient 5.7 engine for the 1500? The 5.7 is definitely a bulletproof engine. I got it in my K1500 by 95, but technology has taken that engine and made it dead. The 5.3, the 6.2, even the 3.0 diesel and the 2.7 4-cylinder, they're all good engines. They all got great technology in them. And I think those are going to outweigh that. And those 5.7s were steel blocks, I believe. So that's not good. They got to do aluminum blocks now. So that aluminum block is what keeps everything. Amelia Hartford got in the trunk. Oh, is that who? I couldn't remember who it was. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Ken. So I got Amelia in the trunk of the car, but did I ever put that video on YouTube? But he may know. I don't know if. But Amelia could have recorded that too, right?
Yeah.
That's who I got. I knew I got a customer in the trunk of a car, and I was thinking it was a girl. And that's my only girl customer. But I was thinking at the same time that my coworker, Tammy, who I love to death, she would get in the trunk of a car, right? I was thinking, well, maybe it was Tammy. But I'm sitting here thinking, I'm not sure. But you're right. Thank you, Ken. It was Amelia. I'll have to go back to that video and see if I can find it. Because that'll be a good Instagram. That'll be a good Instagram video or stuff like that. Yeah, Facebook video.
Big Lake Scratcher says, do you have a marketing background besides being a salesman?
No. All this stuff is self-taught. Like to this day, people ask me all the time. I had a 45-minute conversation with a car salesman the other day, and it was yesterday. And he's like, how did you come up with this stuff? I said, I don't know. I said, I really don't know. I watch things and I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to do it. And I'm trying to show car salesmen what to do right now during this pandemic and how to still sell cars and make money. But none of them are listening, which is crazy. I haven't seen this happen one time. I put out a video yesterday and it's like, here's how you get things going, but nobody's done it. Told people at my work to do it. Not one person did it, which is crazy. But no marketing backgrounds, all self-taught. I grew up poor and just don't have, I just have the drive in me never to be poor again. So, just do whatever I can.
Can you fit a spare tire in the C8 boot?
Nope.
Is the C8 boot the
frunk.
Oh no.
No.
No,
you only get one case of water in
it. You can get a lot of groceries in that, because I did take it to the grocery store the other day and put all my groceries right in the frunk.
Yeah.
So it does work to an extent.
This question was asked before, and I'll answer it again. If you are currently at 3,000 status, what's the chance of getting your car built? I think your chance is 100%. So, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how long stuff is going to be shut down. But if your car's at 3,000, which you don't have a car at 3,000 status, your car is going to be above 3,000 status. Your car is going to be at 3,400 status. I don't think there's any 3,000 status cars. Let me look at my stuff. So I had cars go in last week. Yeah, I had one car go in last week. So this will be a perfect example. But I don't think there's any cars at 3,000 status. They're all above 3,000 status. But let me look. Maybe I'm wrong. Corvette.
There are a lot of times you're wrong.
I know. I'm always willing to be proved wrong.
So not when it comes to me.
No, I'm never wrong when it's you.
I always make you say, yes, honey. You were right.
So, I lied. Yeah, there are cars at 3,000 status. So I have 47 cars in the system that are between 2,500 status and 3,799. 3,800 status is the car being built, and I actually have a lot of cars at 3,000 status. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but so yeah, we're still at 3,000 status on a lot of my cars. So I would say, again, I would put it out there, and if your car is at 3,000 status, I'm almost positive you have 1,000 or 100% shot at getting it built. It's just a matter of when. That's the tough one.
I have a question here. It says, if you purchase a 1LT car, can 2LT features such as heated seats, front cameras, or navigation be added at a later time?
No is the no. I'll take that back. No is the answer, but not factory. The wiring is different between a 1LT and a 2LT, and that's why if you upgrade to navigation on the 1LT, you can't get front lift. Front lift is 2LT and above because of all the wiring differences between 1 and 2 LTs. So you got to have that's why navigation is standard on 2 and 3 LT, because of the front lift with the GPS. And if you decide that you want to store a location, that it knows. So that's why nav is standard on 2 and 3 LTs. So no, you can't. Now, can you do it aftermarket? Yeah, you can do almost anything aftermarket. So if you want to get heated seats on a 1LT, you can do that aftermarket. And there's different applications of the buttons and stuff like that.
But honestly, if you want some of those extras, spend the extra money.
Yeah, you can, but it's what is it, like $7,000 to go between 1 and 2 LT?
I don't know.
So
I let you price out things.
so
all I know is I did not get a 3LT on my C7 because you refused.
Yeah, I know. You want me to just tell everybody I made a mistake on that?
Yes.
I made a mistake. I'm sorry, guys. It's my fault.
You made a mistake on the whole car because the car was not built to my specifications.
Okay, I'll just sell it. Who wants to buy a gently used C7 manual transmission, 2LT, Long Beach red? Never done a burnout in it.
I get all the proceeds if it gets sold.
Clean Carfax. It's never been in an accident. No Carfax employees ever came on my property and hit my car.
Oh, you're crazy. You are crazy.
Oh, geez. This is what I talk about. It's just having fun, right? Negative things happen and just deal with them and move on. It's like haters, It's like, if I got a guy, like I said earlier, I got this guy at GM that hates me for whatever reason. I don't hate him. I'm sorry that he hates me, but his opinion about me is none of my business. I'm just going to move on and do what I have.
It doesn't pay the bills.
It doesn't pay the bill. Nope, you're absolutely right.
Oh, we got another super chat. And Steve says, will wireless CarPlay be a software upgrade for 2020?
I don't know. I was looking into that, actually. I was wondering if like 2021 is going to be like when we see wireless CarPlay in GM cars. It's going to be mid-cycle on the Trailblazer, which mid-cycle means midway through the model year. So the first ones aren't going to have it, and then somewhere in the middle of the model year you'll have it. So you can have a 21 Trailblazer with and without wireless CarPlay. So I don't know if it's going to be a software upgrade or not, because I don't know what it entails to do that. It's possible because you can get a 2014 car, Corvette, and software upgrade navigation on it. And when you do that, the PDR and the Apple CarPlay icons are on the screen, but they don't work. So it really just depends on what the software is. So that's why I'm saying that both ways. Good question. Thanks for the super chat.
Honestly, I always plug my phone in because I want it to charge.
Yeah, I took my wire. I took my cord out. I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's out there because my phone was almost dead the other night, and so I took it out of the car for my this new iPhone I got. And
do we have wireless charging in?
Yeah, it's right here. Good salesman would have told you that. So,
well, I don't have a good salesman. So, Trish, do you know one? She wants to buy my car.
So I went ahead and paired my cell phone with the car today, Bluetooth, because I wanted to listen to Slacker radio rather than listen to XM radio. And so my phone wasn't dead, but I wanted to test it out again. Ownership experience, right? I want to know what these things work. I want to know how these things do. So I went and paired my phone, and then I just put my phone in the wireless charging right back here, and seemed to work fine. I had issues when I paired it that it was cutting in and out. So after I paired it, I just disconnected and reconnected, and it fixed that problem. So that was kind of weird. So I don't know what that was, but like it would start playing a song, and then it would mute it a second and then play it again and mute it a second.
Kind of sounds like our internet around here.
Yeah, for real.
Because you keep messing that up. Yep. Trish says, no, she doesn't know a good salesman anymore. You poor thing.
Yeah, I'll have to look for that. Thanks, Mark. Mark just texted me and said that Amelia had it on her channel.
Yeah, I saw somebody say that.
So it might be Mark too. Yeah, gosh, I can't believe I forgot all about that. It's amazing. This is what happens when, like, I record so much content and you guys don't see a lot of what I record. But that's what happens when you just record so much content. You forget what you publish. You forget what some of the videos have. Like, I couldn't tell you 2 weeks ago any of my videos that I put up and stuff like that, just because I'm doing so much. And the last 2 weeks I've been recording content every day. So the
worst part is I got to remember on these live streams not to say stuff that we recorded.
Yeah.
This week or last week or whatever that you have not put up.
Yeah.
That is hard because it's like, crap. Can I talk about that? No.
So I have ACS. What iPhone do I have? Yeah, I just went and bought this 11 Pro. I bought this. This is very first world issues. So I saw, Mike Street Speed and I have been friends for a long time, but for a few years at least. And I saw when he got his car, he took a picture of the steering wheel and his black and yellow seat belts and all that stuff, yellow stitching. And I'm like, that's a badass picture. And I couldn't do that with my phone. And the reason why is because he's got 11 Max Pro and our 11 Pro, because it's got all the 3 cameras on there, and the one camera is like a 5mm lens, so it takes the whole wide angle shot. So I went out and bought this just so that I could take a picture like this. And my accountant said it's a business expense. So perfect.
Yeah, it's always some type of expense with you. I'm still stuck on iPhone X.
I could have gave you that phone, but you didn't want this big of one phone.
I don't want the Max, the big. My hands are small. I don't have big hands. I'm a woman. But
So this is going to be a video. Dopey Anteater asked, what are the 5 things you love and hate about your C8? I'm making videos on both of those. But I'm waiting to do that. And the other video I'm going to do is 5 things you didn't know about the C8 from an owner's perspective. And I tell you, these 5 things that I've wrote down, salesmen don't even know this stuff because they wouldn't know if they weren't an owner. And like I said, I found one out tonight. I'm like, that's my 5th one, because I was struggling. What's going to be the 5th one? I got to come up with this.
There's one that really is annoying me.
Yes. So that's number 3. Can you remember I recorded that yesterday? So.
No, not that one. Not that one.
The owner?
No.
What?
The other one.
I don't remember what to tell me off camera.
The one that I've needed lately.
Oh, I don't know.
See, I can't say it because it's videos that we've recorded for everybody to be watching.
Oh, yeah. The OS, right? So, not all women have small hands, Bob said.
Okay. Yes, there are man hands. Our daughter actually has man hands.
She does have man hands.
So this question's been asked multiple times, and it could be the same person that has texted the question in. But what do you think about the horsepower on the Z06 for a C8?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What's your guesstimates? From things I've read, it sounds like it's not going to be that much more than the C7 Z06.
I think 800.
You think?
Yeah, I think 800. So
I mean, that's an awful lot more than...
It's awful lot more, but GM has to come out and do something because we got the Hellcat, we got,
Yeah, but that's what the ZR1 and
no, they need something
down the road. No.
Especially
if they go to a hybrid.
We're going to have 1,000 horsepower car, right?
Yeah, when they go to a hybrid, they can do that.
We need something that competes with the horsepower of a Hellcat, a Demon, stuff like that. Our cars out compete those cars anyways because of the weight factor, right? I mean, we have a 2.9060 or 2.8, whatever it is. I see conflicting numbers, 2.9, 2.8, right? So it's really weird, and I don't think GM has came out and officially said this is the 0-60, but I read some things 2.8, some things 2.9, coming straight from GM. So it's really weird. When we were at training back in Ferrump, one person told us 2.9, another trainer told us 2.8, and it's just confusing. So it's that's what they need to do, because consumers look at horsepower and they want to brag they got the most horsepower. So I think they got to have 795. I think that's where it's going to be. I think they really need to do 805. I think they need to have an 8 on the front of that number, and they need to have it over 800. They can't just have 800 horsepower. They got to do 805, and that's just my thought process. So I never addressed this. Steven says Chevy needs to make the Blazer like the 95K Blazer. Here's the thing on the Blazer is your kid's age, your 20-year-old, if you have a 20-year-old kid, your millennials, they're the ones who made this Blazer. They don't know what a K5 Blazer is. They have no idea what a K5 Blazer is. They weren't born, or they were being born in 94, right? So our 25-year-old kid here, he has no idea what a K5 Blazer is.
I barely remember what the Blazers looked like.
Right, correct. So
and sit there and you got Trailblazer and Blazer, and just trying to even remember what those look like.
Yep.
I could tell you what Bronco looks like over a Blazer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, OJ, right?
Yeah,
everybody knows
exactly.
what that is. So, but I saw that. I took a picture. There's a white Bronco on our lot about a month ago. It's like, oh, OJ's here. But these kids don't know what a K5 Blazer is, so we're never going to see these old school things. And now looking at the Bronco, the new Bronco is going to flop. The new Bronco is so ugly. In my opinion, it's ugly, and there's no way that this truck is going to be off-road capable. Maybe it is, but nobody's going to take it off-road.
I don't think I've even seen it.
It's too boxy. It looks like a Hummer. So what are they going to do to improve it 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 7 years from now? What are they going to do to improve it? It's always going to look one shape. That's why the Hummer brand didn't last that long, because I
what
said
about
this
the gas prices.
So I think it's getting good gas mileage, right? So, but I said back in the day when the Hummer came out, this Hummer is only going to be around for a few years, and look what happened. It was, and because they cannot improve on a square body, they went to the heritage of that, and they just left it that way. So, Corvette Lover, I'm at 2200 status at my dealership. Will I get a 2020? You should. So 2200 status, you should be at 3000 status today. If you're at 2200 status, or no, today's Friday. Forgot what day it is. So if your dealership was able to move your order, which they shouldn't have today, but I saw a couple blips that people said, hey, I got my order picked up today. You'll go to 3000 status by next Friday, and you'll get a car. So you should be good.
Okay.
The Bronco looks like a Jeep. It does. And I'm not bashing it. I don't bash anybody or bash anything. We all can have our opinions, but I just think that he says, what do you think the Hummer EV is going to look like? I think it's going to look like a Hummer. They showed the grill, right? Are they clickbaiting us on that? We use that term since it's been used quite a bit in the comment section. Are they clickbaiting us on that? Maybe, but
heck, I thought Tesla was clickbaiting with their ugly truck.
Yeah, I know. I
mean, that thing's ugly.
Yeah. So and that goes into play. Like, they only had $100 deposit, and the I didn't do the video. Like I bought a Hummer, I bought a Tesla truck, right? I bought a Cybertruck. Everybody was doing that because they could put $100 in. I just didn't do it. Keto Walk Get Fit. Thanks for the channel. Good content. Thank you for your awesome comment. So I think we need to probably wrap this up. We're an hour and a half in.
Okay.
I love being here. I love.
Got a couple more questions.
Yeah, we're good.
Jeez.
I'm just warning.
Slow it down. Drew said, if mine is at 3,600, what's the estimate time of arrival to Los Angeles?
3,600.
You have to sit there and think of what 3,600 is.
3,400 is built. 3,600 is, what is that? I'm drawing a blank.
Well, would that be like sitting on the?
Hold on, I got it right here. So what happens when you have all this knowledge in your head? You can never remember all this stuff. I don't know what 3,600 is. So 3,400 is broadcast. 3,800 is produced. So it goes from 3,400 to 3,800, and that's really it internally. So there might be a 3,600 that we just don't use with GM, but yeah. So I'm not sure what that is.
Could it have anything to do with like waiting on a train or waiting?
Yeah,
waiting to be.
Oh, you know what? He said Los Angeles. Yes. I bet that's what it said. See, that's not
get
what I
thrown on trains to go out to the West Coast.
Yeah. So, and that's not what I don't deal with that status. So yeah, that's probably exactly it. Hold on, I got another place I'll look. Oops, spelled that wrong.
While you're looking, we've had a couple questions about the brake air ducts.
Yes.
Why are they getting put on?
So everywhere that I see,
and the museum doesn't.
So it's there's another conflicting thing, right? So I don't think there's any harm putting them on. So I think we're good on that. I put them on my car, and after I had TJ's car at my dealership and I showed them, people started mentioning things, right? And not everybody's right who makes comments on social media, but I look into those comments, right? And that's what I love about my channel being the size that it is currently. I want it to get bigger. I want to be 1 million subs, but I read every comment. So I'm like, I thought we put these on. Maybe we don't, because I put them on the other two cars. And but nowhere do I see that it's for track use only. And in the C7, which doesn't mean anything, but on the C7 there was a big label on the bags that said track use only, installed for track use only. So so I wasn't too sure on that. So it's better to put it on than not put it on. But
and I would say with some of these YouTubers, they need it on.
Yeah. So, but there's nowhere in PDI or anything that says don't install this. So we install it.
Okay.
So 3,600 status was the number.
Yes, and we have a super chat that. Right. Thank you, Scott.
There's no 3,600.
You didn't find
3,400 broadcast, 3,450 import vehicle produced, 3,500 body setup, 3,550 import vehicle shipped, 3,750 import vehicle received, 3,800 produced, 4,000 available to ship. So yeah, there's no 3,600, and so the rail code is 4800 rail ramp unload, 4850 at port of exit rail. So yeah, that's the only thing that says rails in the order codes. I looked up all the official ones. Yes. Who was it? Super chat, Scott? Oh, he did a little emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, $50, Scott. Thank you so much, dude.
And
oh, whoops, I cussed. Sorry. I try not to cuss on air.
Okay. Let's see. There's a question regarding, are people backing out of their cars? And if they are, the C8, what do you do with their car order?
So I haven't had anybody who's given me $5,000 back out of their car, right? So everybody who's got their order 2,000 status or greater is good. If that happens, then I'll go there. I'll just mark it for sale. So what I do is I only communicate with people who have given me a deposit. I don't go out there, and I have enough deposits out there that somebody's going to take this car, right? So I only communicate with people who give me a deposit. So if someone today had their car and they can't take delivery for whatever reason, I would text all of my reservation list and say, I've got this car available. Who wants it? And I've done it a couple times in 20 seconds they're sold. So Corvette lover, do you think there will be anything added to the 2021 that would make a 2020 buyer regret not holding out? $15 super chat. Thanks, man. I don't think so.
I haven't. I mean, from the leaked stuff, I have not seen anything that would make me say, oh, I wish we had waited.
Yeah.
Now, on the C7, we talk about it all the time. We waited till 2016 to order, or for the 2016 model year to order our car. And we are so happy we did that because forward-facing cameras came out then. And that was a big deal on the car. But so far, what they have announced for 2021, no. I mean, the carbon fiber high wing spoiler, it's an LPO item. You can get it later. You know, what else was there?
So just a couple colors. What was leaked? Yeah, carbon fiber, something else.
I don't even remember what the colors were.
Gray and a red, I think. I can't remember.
Oh, are they getting rid of my Long Beach red?
I don't know. I didn't look at it that close. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go backwards and you look at the C7 from 14 to 15, they changed transmissions and they introduced performance data recorder in 15, right? Yes. So they changed transmissions, introduced performance data recorder. From 15 to 16, like she said, was the forward-facing cameras. After that, there was nothing. So while we talked about this last Friday, and after I got off, I saw somebody say wireless CarPlay. I'm like, oops, that's right. Wireless CarPlay is definitely going to be out in 2021, but that's not something I need to wait on, right? It's just going to be something technology of what they changed. So I don't know what they could do. I still don't. A week's went by that I've had that thought in my process, and
for my personal use, wireless CarPlay is not that big of a deal. But maybe to some people, it is. Like I said earlier, I like to plug my phone into the car because I'm always charging my battery then.
Yeah.
And stuff. But I saw a question for me. I
already put one up on the screen. Dopey Anteater said, what do you think about Street Speed's Rapid Blue Rap C8? It's called Rapid, WRAPIT Blue. It's not Rapid, it's Rap It Blue. That's what we saw told. I was like, it's Rapid. I love it. I think it looks cool. I loved it when he did it on the ZR1, and I didn't tell him this, but I didn't tell him that I was going to do this, but and I have told him this part. He stole my idea because I was going to get a white car and wrap it blue, So, but he stole it on the C7R, the C7 ZR1, which was phenomenal on that too. I love it. Now he's got pictures side by side with those cars, and it's amazing. Go ahead.
I haven't even seen that. Okay, so somebody asked, if I didn't have a Tesla, what car would I own, and would it be electric? Honestly, I had a Camaro previous to buying the Tesla. At the time, we were actually looking at buying me another Camaro. He still wasn't going for the SS. I don't know why. He just doesn't love me enough to, give me that power. But I was going for another Camaro. And we were just holding off at the time based on rebates and incentives and everything else. And the Tesla showed up at the dealership. So when that showed up, because we had looked back in 2014 at buying a Tesla versus buying a Corvette, I decided, when that showed up, it was like, game over. I'm done looking. I'm getting that. Now that I've had time behind the car, behind, driving an electric car for so long, I absolutely love it. And I don't know if I can go back to a daily driver being a gas-powered engine. We'll see, because, I'm ready to get rid of the Tesla and upgrade, and I'd like to get a Model X P100D. But, we'll just kind of see what happens, and if GM would ever come out with a decent electric car, because I'm not a fan of the Bolt, but that's me.
The Bolt is an amazing car.
And I haven't driven it yet.
From underneath standpoint, the Bolt is better made than Tesla. But what Tesla has over the Bolt is looks, and it has some user-friendly applications, right? I think their screen is much better. I think, for Tesla, the screen is much better. It's a really cool futuristic look, which I think is better.
It just depends, because I am not a fan of the Model 3 screen, and I know the Y has the same screen.
Yeah, and that's really similar to the new Corvette, right? To my car. If you look at that screen, it's almost similar to that. So,
but no, in the Model 3 and the Model Y, it's a lot bigger than the screen in the C8. And it's just kind of in a weird position. I like having the up-down, vertical screen and everything. And I love driving with my backup camera on. Some people might think that's crazy, but it's actually really nice. I hardly use the rear view mirror.
Well, now with the digital rear view mirrors now, I've always got it on, and mine's always on.
But I still have trouble. Even when I drove the C8 the other day, I had trouble getting my eyes to. It's like that split second of looking over. My eyes don't focus immediately.
Right.
So it takes a second for my eyes to focus and to see what I'm looking at. But when you're looking at the backup camera on the Tesla screen, there's no adjustment for your eyes to focus.
Right. Yeah. You were telling me that. So, the Bolt is built better than Tesla. Tesla's got some more futuristic options and looks, but this is, I say the same thing with the Silverado versus F-150. I think the Silverado is a much, much better vehicle than the F-150, but F-150 has designed their truck behind making it curb appeal, right? It's kind of like going to a house. I don't like this house because it's got weeds in the grass and the landscaping is not done. Then you go to the same exact house for 10 grand more, and the curb appeal looks good, and you're done. So I think that's the biggest thing between them is GM engineers and GM designers are not futuristic in looks. Now the Trailblazer, love the new Trailblazer. I love the Blazer. So they're doing stuff right. I'm not knocking them.
I would love the Blazer more if they would put a Corvette engine in it.
I agree. I said that back when it first started.
I would love to have that performance SUV. I mean, I'm starting to see like the Lamborghini and, some
the Urus. Yeah, the Urus is awesome.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Porsches, but they're Cayenne. But some of those, it's like put that powerful engine in an SUV.
I agree. Gerald Montoya, thanks for the 10. My C8 was going to production 429 to 529. What do you think you'll see the car by September? I think so. We'll see. It just all depends on when it is. So if we have, let's say we have 6 weeks of downtime, add 6 weeks to your build week is what I would do. And Corvette Lover, thanks for being a new member of the channel. New members, super chats, or members and super chat people get answered right away every single time.
And somebody did say Camaro body, but a Tesla-like drivetrain. I can't wait for the Corvette C8 to get an electric motor.
Yeah.
If they would go full electric, I would be so happy, and Mike would never drive that car ever. Because I would not allow him to drive.
We might have to buy two. But I think a little bit of that is where the Camaro, the E Camaro, or whatever you want to call it, the E whatever it was called. So I think some of that stuff was being tested for Corvette. So a lot of times there's some of that stuff out in front of you. So if you go to, I was at SEMA and they took a C10 and they took all the Bolt stuff from a C10 they took a C10 and made it an E10, and it was all the Bolt stuff that you could do. So I think that's, I think it's there. I think they're going to make fully electric. They're committed to electric. I said this a long time ago when people were like, I want hybrid. Corvette, they're done. GM is done with hybrid stuff. They're completely done with hybrid stuff. They're going fully electric. We do not have a hybrid. We're not going to have a hybrid. So I really think that there's going to be a fully electric Corvette.
Honestly, people who have not driven an electric performance car have no clue what it can do, because even our Tesla is not a performance car, but the instant torque you get out of that car is amazing. And I mean, I can't wait to have, like I said, I keep saying it, a P100D with Ludacris, because I want to sit there and, feel that. And maybe I'd get used to launches if I sat there and was driving that on a regular basis and constantly putting my foot to the floor.
Yeah.
Because that instant torque sends you off real quick.
Yeah. So the mother plant had said that the Blazer was a miss. They should have put it on the Colorado platform and made it look like the old Blazer S10. Well, we talked about this a little bit ago. The people who designed this Blazer are in their 20s and 25s, right? So the engineers that got pulled over for drag racing, which is total BS that they got pulled over, but it's neither here nor there. Those are the ages of the people who designed the Blazer, right? So they don't know what the K5 Blazer is or anything like that. They weren't around for OJ, right? They have no idea that OJ did this. They know because OJ is famous for driving through, LA on that chase, but they weren't there. They don't know it. So I drove a Nissan Leaf and I liked it in town. The Nissan Leaf is I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. When it first came out, I'm like, oh man, they beat us. But then I drove it and I'm like, nah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, electric driving around town is wonderful. Somebody said something about no electric until range improves with heat, AC on. We don't have that huge problem on the Tesla. You always have a problem with electric when it comes to your outside conditions. So in the wintertime, you're not going to have good range. You can improve it by not running your heater so much, but the heated seats on the Tesla, oh my goodness, those are so much better than GM has put in their cars in recent years. I mean, the GXP that we had, the Grand Prix GXP, was the last time I had good heated seats in a GM car.
Yep.
And, not bashing or anything. It's just that's the last time I had good heated seats in a GM car. But Tesla heated seats are wonderful. So you can actually go, as long as it's not too cold outside, and just run with your heated seat on and not have to have your heat on.
Yeah. Yeah. So that just reminded me of one of my things I hate about the C8 that we're going to do a video on. And this video has been an idea. So I just want to make sure.
We have a Tesla guy on here.
Sweet.
Tesla guy 180.
Awesome. So, I want to make sure everybody's clear that, and I'll make this clear when I do the video because I haven't shot this video yet. I'm really searching for these 5 things, right? So it's taken a lot of work. And I did a 5 thing I hate about the Silverado, and GM was pissed off at me about it, but they didn't watch the video, right? They just looked at the title and they hated it, right? Well, you need to watch the content because the things that I said were the dumbest things in the world. And I was making fun of people who just hated the Silverado up front without knowing anything about it. And then I came back and said, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. So, yeah, you just made up one of the things, which is good. I just got to write it down so I don't forget it. Cause I got, like, I can show this. These are vlog ideas right here that I have not shot yet. There's 48 of them sitting there. And then, these right here are more. And, every single one of those are vlog ideas as well that I'm researching, I'm doing. Some of them have been on there for over a year, and just making sure that I can do them right and we can have fun with them, and they're educational and they're entertained, and I get good return of my time.
Eric put, nothing sounds better than a healthy V8. I will agree, because
yep,
I love the sound of the C7. Since we've changed out the exhaust and put headers on it and all that type of stuff, I love the sound of the C7.
Yeah, the new Corsa exhaust that we put on this year or last year, on that C7, that has made that car so much more fun. And I'm so glad I got that partnership with Corsa. And I sell a lot of Corsa exhaust to my customers. I'm in a unique position, right? So this is what I always tell my vendors when they're automotive and my sponsors, like, I'm in a really unique position that I sell a lot of Corvettes, I sell a lot of sports cars, and there's no other person out there that does this. And and I own the car. I want to mod my cars just like everybody else does. And I want to recommend your product, but I want to make sure that it's a good product to recommend. I just don't want to be paid or given free product just to recommend you. It's not going to happen. If I think it's junk, I'm going to say it's junk, right? So I'm going to start working with AWS or AW. I just drew a blank. ACS Composites, and they're sending me some stuff. But and they told, and I loved about that, and that's what I love about it. They're like, just be honest with your review. I don't care if it's good or bad. Just be honest with it. We have confidence you're going to do a good review, so we're not too worried about it. But just do a good review on it. I said, no problem. I said, not an issue. And he just asked me, say, just don't come back a month later and do it with something else. Like, listen, I want to work with one person in the category, and I want to build relationship with her. It's what I've done in the car business for 20 years. And I want to do that with this YouTube channel as well, is be the place that, hey, this is what we're going to go to. This is who we're going to listen to. And this is what we're going to do to our car and mod it. Right. So Tom said that the C8 is desperate for some exhaust noise. It is absolutely needing exhaust noise. It is so quiet. You can't hear it when the inside of the car. But we got an exhaust coming for the C8. I talked to somebody earlier this week, and we're about 3 weeks away or so, depending on the coronavirus and all that stuff. But we're gonna have a new exhaust in the C8 really quick. So I was hoping to have it a little bit quicker, but we had some things slow us down, but we're going to have something on there. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Somebody asked, how fast is your Tesla? Not fast enough.
140 is the max, and we haven't had it up there. I've only had it to like 130, 135.
130, and that was
in Mexico.
That was hard to get it there. And I think we also did not lower the suspension.
No, it lowers at 100 miles an hour automatically.
Oh, I was thinking it wasn't lower.
Yeah, it was. I made sure before I did that, so I got the, I didn't become an airplane.
Okay. Well, 750 North, thank you for the $5. Having lived in Chicago 3 different times, I've got to say, nice jersey.
Yes. And
we love Chicago.
So I'm a huge Chicago fan. And one of my customers, my C8 customers, Bill Lindblade from Chicago, gave me this. So if you look at it, this has got my favorite number on the back, and it's got my name on it. So this is the first time I wore it. He gave it to me back in September at our Corvette road show.
Our C8 reveal.
The C8 reveal at the dealership, and he gave this to me. So this was the first day that I wore it. All my Chevy Dude apparel was dirty because Mrs. Chevy Dude didn't do laundry.
What? And it's all up there and clean.
It wasn't this morning.
Maybe not when you woke up this morning, but
so
you only have a couple shirts and you keep wearing them.
So I look better in blue. I like blue better. But when I was going through the closet, I'm like, oh, I haven't wore this shirt yet today. It should be based.
Of course, you haven't worn it today.
Oh, I haven't worn this shirt yet. But no, I was like, I just want to wear this shirt. I haven't worn it yet, and I'm missing baseball already. So I usually would wear a jersey on baseball days, right? Isn't
every day a baseball day?
Well, not always. There's a few days.
I mean,
off.
they do play majority of the week.
So AC asked, how often do we come out to California? I go out to California more than she does, but
I've been to California twice in my life.
There you go. So I'm out there more, but I'll be out there in October. I'll be out in LA in October.
Well, we talked about both of us going out in October.
Yep.
Because we're not getting our vacation this year.
So we might go out there a little bit longer. So,
but I wasn't a big fan of LA.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in San Francisco.
Yeah, but we can take a train up there. Now that I learned that there's a train out there, I didn't know this. When I go out to California, it always seems like I have to go to Anaheim to watch a baseball game or watch a hockey game. I've never been to a Dodgers game, and I've never been to a Kings game. But I'm not a big basketball fan. I would go watch basketball, but I just haven't been there for a basketball game. And Dodger blue. And but
that's not what I was laughing about.
I've always drove to Anaheim, and Anaheim's an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on traffic, and it sucks. But then I was there in October, and somebody's like, "Yeah, I live in Anaheim, and it's a 45-minute train ride." I'm like, "Huh? Train ride? What are you talking about? Train in LA? I didn't know that Amtrak was like something that you would just ride." So I got downtown to Union Station, hopped on the train, got the business section on the train, which was awesome, and drove down to Anaheim, watched the Ducks game, hopped back on the train, went back to LA, and that was the best $50 I ever spent in my life because that was so nice. Just so, and that was the first time I ever rode a train. We're doing like 75 miles an hour and it's smooth as can be. I was really shocked because you hear click, 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 click on a train, you know, and you think it's just the roughest riding in the world. And it was super smooth. It's awesome. Love it. So I'll do that again for sure.
Yeah.
But we can take the train. Like
I've been on a train before.
I know you have. But we can take train down to San Diego. We can take train up north. So like I looked at when I was out there, I think it was the same time I was out there, you know, I thought about taking the train up to see Elise. And but it was too long. It was like a 6-hour drive or 6-hour train ride. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
You think going to San Francisco is going to be any better?
But that's not a spur of the moment, right? We'll plan that out. But going up, if I went up to see Elise, that was a spur of the moment thing. Like she was like, fly up here. It's like, oh, then I got to change all my flights and blah 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 blah. And there's extra cost involved with that, and I don't like spending that money on change fees and stuff like that.
Thomas said, Mike, you have hands, and it's not hard to turn on a washer.
Huh?
I don't think you've ever used our washer a day.
How do I block that guy? I have used a washer. Don't insult me that way.
No, I don't think you have. One of the agreements in our relationship is he goes and makes the money, and I do the housework.
Is that an agreement?
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's kind of unspoken agreement. It's not like I said, you do this, woman.
No, you say that. You come home, where's my dinner, woman? If I don't have it ready for you right when you walk in the door.
Make me a sandwich. All right, let's do 2 more questions and we're going to be done here. 2 hours. We said we're going to be on an hour. So,
well, you know.
Oh, Trisha's now texting me. This better not be a heckle.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Okay, so let's see. Can the suspension be lowered with the mag ride and lift?
So GM is saying no, but talking to a few people that it should be able to be lowered. There's just a little bit more work to do on it. So I know the big thing out there was you can't do it. But it's nice that this car's on coilovers, but people are out there saying that they're going to be able to do it. It's just a little bit more work. Anything can be done.
And I think for our last question tonight, I kind of like this one. How long does it take to build a car at the factory?
It's on the final line for a day and a half. I think it's in the other part of the line for like maybe 2 days or something like that. So like somewhere around 3 days, 4 days, depending on how fast everything's going. I think there's a nice diagram out there that kind of shows what it is. I've looked at it once or twice but didn't memorize it. But it's pretty cool how it goes through the plant and stuff like that. I haven't been in the plant since C7, so they were going to open the plant up this week or this month, but obviously that's not going to happen. So
yeah, those tours are going to probably be held off a lot longer.
Yeah. But so April 15th is what I was kind of told. Middle of April is when they were going to open them up, but not now. So can't do it.
Yeah. Keto Walk Get Fit says San Francisco is cool, but not like it was. Go to Lake Tahoe or Yosemite. I love Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, we do that.
But not in the winter.
No, not in the winter.
We are not snow people. So any place that it snows,
like
Chicago,
I wouldn't mind going, like visiting and just like doing something snow related. Like if we went to Colorado and skied or snowboarded or something like that, I could do that, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't think I could ski. I've never tried, and I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah, Creed, our general sales manager, Creed, they're a skiing family, right? They fly out to Colorado like 2 or 3 times a year, and they go to Horseshoe. I think that's over in West Virginia. I think is where that's at. But like a bunch of the managers go at one time too, on a ski trip, and he told me I'd pick it up right away since I played hockey. He says, "Oh yeah, you'll get it right away." And
yeah, I can't ice skate, so I don't think I would do very well. But I went to San Francisco and Lake Tahoe about 4 years ago without Mike. I went with one of my best friends, and her sister lives in San Francisco.
Best week of my life.
Yeah, mine too. And I just fell in love with the city. it's too expensive to live there, but I don't mind going and visiting. And Lake Tahoe was absolutely beautiful. I fell in love with hiking because that was the most I've ever actually spent hiking. And I mean, I would have a blast going back. I just need to get somebody to go with me.
Yep, we can probably figure that out. Well, guys, we're going to end it tonight, so thank you so much. Make sure you take care of our sponsor, Surfshark.deals/Chevy Dude. Using promo code Chevy Dude, you save 83% off, and you get a free extra month. VPN is so important on your phone, on your computer. It just protects all your data, and it allows you to save money on hotels when you VPN out of another country. I do this all the time when I book flights or hotels. I use Surfshark to say that I'm in a third world country and book flights for much cheaper because they do make deals based off of where you're remoting in from or where your IP address says you're from. So check out surfshark.deal/Chevy Dude. Use promo code Chevy Dude. Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram and make sure you share the videos and get me some more followers, please. I want to do this. We're doing at least one live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. That's car business related. That is 100% how to help you buy a car in a good way, Beyond the Showroom podcast. And then Friday nights we're spontaneous and doing these just live Q&As, and they're typically revolved around Corvettes.
Well, that's just because that's what everybody's asking. But I like these other questions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
All the, let's talk about something other than Corvettes every once in a while.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
No, absolutely. We can talk about Silverados. We can talk about Bolts.
No.
We can talk about...
No, don't even talk about cars.
We can talk about you.
Okay.
All right.
I like talking about me. But, if you guys like these Friday nights, we will continue to do them.
Yep. This is a business for us. So just take care of us. Share the streams. Share the channel. Tell people about us. Go to my Facebook. Share my videos. Share my things. I would really appreciate it. We would really appreciate it as a family. And guys, thanks again for being here. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. Drive safely.